Good morning. My name is David Perez, President and CEO of Phoenix. On behalf of the staff, employees, board of directors, and current and past consumers, I want to welcome each of you to the Johnson Road Zoom campus. I've been asked to talk a little bit about the history of Phoenix. This might be a little bit dry, but just remember, after I finish, it's all downhill. To begin with, I want to take you back to a decade marked by the post-World War II boom, extreme prosperity, and the dawn of the Cold War and the Civil Rights Movement. I want to take you back to a time before Taylor Swift, before Madonna, before Aretha Franklin, and even before the Beatles. Say it isn't so. And with all the neat things about the 50s, it was still a time permeated with inequities, political persecution, and polio. In the response to the absence of adequate medical care, a group of concerned citizens began serving in the basement of a church children who had been affected by polio, providing them with physical therapy. The service mission of the Huntsville Rehabilitation Foundation was thus born. In the 60s, Easter Seals, partnering with the city of Huntsville and a group of local leaders, the Huntsville Rehabilitation Committee built and began operating the Huntsville Rehabilitation Center, providing comprehensive rehabilitation services to people with disabilities. Located at 316 Longwood Drive, this was not only a state-of-the-art facility, but the first of its kind in Huntsville. In the 70s, Huntsville Rehabilitation Center and the Alabama Department of Rehab Services began their long partnership providing vocational services to adults with disabilities. In December of 1973, the Huntsville Rehabilitation Foundation was founded as a separate nonprofit with a mission to serve adults with disabilities through employment-focused services. In 1976, property in a building was secured at 902 Bob Wallace Avenue, and the Huntsville Rehabilitation Foundation began operation. Producing government canvas goods through the J. Watt Ability One program, Huntsville Rehabilitation Foundation was the first major Huntsville industry to employ primarily people with disabilities. Following this, the vocational services component of the Huntsville Rehab Center moved to the Bob Wallace location and became a formal division of the newly formed Huntsville Rehabilitation Foundation. Huntsville Rehab Center and the newly named Phoenix became the main operating divisions of the now Huntsville Rehabilitation Foundation. The 316 Longwood Drive facility and medical services were sold to HealthSouth and no longer were associated with the Huntsville Rehabilitation Center. In 1984, the Huntsville Rehab Foundation shut its Bob Wallace stores and moved to its current facility here at 2939 Johnson Road. In 2009, the Huntsville Rehab Foundation shut its Bob Wallace doors and became Phoenix, the new unified name for all programs. Today, Phoenix has grown into a company serving nearly 900 individuals with disabilities annually, employing over 800 individuals, serving over 12 North Alabama counties, and operating in 7 states. We come together today to kick off the 75th anniversary of the National Disability Employment Month and the 30th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. We hope that Phoenix, in some small way, has been a part of all the life enhancements brought on by these events. Each year in the month of October, the nation celebrates the accomplishments of people with disabilities through a variety of events. Already this year, Phoenix has been involved with the U.S. Patriots softball game and Dr. Kenny Anderson's Second Chance radio program, both celebrating the accomplishments of people with disabilities. We at Phoenix know the challenges facing people with disabilities, especially regarding employment, and would ask each of you to join us in our campaign for equal access. Join us this month in making sure that the voice of people with disabilities is heard and access to all parts of life is assured. And again, sincerely thank each of you for being here. Thank you.
David, I think you're supposed to introduce me, but I'll just go ahead and introduce myself since you missed your cue.
You know, Dr. Kenny Anderson, I didn't know that was my responsibility, and it's probably a short or totally my responsibility and fault. Let me introduce you. I'd like to introduce a good friend of mine and a longtime acquaintance who has worked for Phoenix and has upheld the mission of Phoenix throughout and has always been a valuable friend. He is currently the Vice Chair of the Huntsville Rehabilitation Foundation Board of Directors and Diversity Coordinator of the City of Huntsville. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Kenny Anderson.
Good morning to everybody. It's good to see all the smiling faces out there. This is an exciting day to be able to acknowledge the 75th anniversary of National Disability Employment Awareness Month. I have to confess, though, as David was reading that history of Phoenix, 40 years of my life have intersected with that. And that's a little bit interesting in terms of context and perspective, because it was 40 years ago next month that I actually went to work right out of college at Huntsville Rehab Center, spent about 10 years there, left for 5 and came back for 2. So long history with Phoenix, served on the board many years ago and then came back to the board a couple of years ago. So it's been an honor over these 4 decades to be supportive of the mission of this organization that I think is one of the most significant in our community, that makes a profound impact on the lives of individuals and preserves the right of individuals to actually feel a sense of gratitude, self-satisfaction, and self-esteem through the opportunities, both training and academically, that are provided for the people through the work that's being done at Phoenix. Phoenix is a gem to our community and has provided we can't even quantify the service numbers, impact that it's had on the community. All we can do at this point is basically celebrate what has happened over these numbers of years. And so again, David, thank you for that perspective. Thank you for sharing that context on where we are. I also think about the fact that some 30 years ago, the Americans with Disabilities Act was signed by then President George Bush. And it's really amazing to think about, again, on my own personal journey. I was 10 years in the process before that even happened, and some of the challenges that we faced during that time, and some of the barriers and the obstacles and some of the adverse situations that people with disabilities were oftentimes exposed to. And over those 30 years, there has been tremendous progress made in working on behalf of people with disabilities. As a long-term educator as well, I know that at the center of our work as educators, there is a student. And the only reason that the academic institution exists is because of the students. In the same way, the rehabilitation profession exists, at the center of which are people with disabilities, who we have the honor to serve. And so advocacy sits at the very core of that process. And so the work that's being done on behalf of people with disabilities through advocacy, through many channels, whether those are legislative channels, through organizations like Source America, contracting work that's being done, as well as relationship building across our community, the many businesses that hire and support people who have disabilities, the many modifications and adjustments that are made to accommodate people with disabilities across the sectors of our community. This is indeed an exciting time to celebrate and honor those things. So I'm happy to be here today. I'm happy to represent Phoenix throughout this community, and I'm happy and very proud of the legacy that I've had with this amazing organization. At this time, I want to introduce to you the current chair of the Phoenix board, and that is Dr. Greg Gaddy. Greg, I'm going to turn it over to you at this time.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you and good morning. I am proud to serve alongside our board members to ensure all Phoenix employees and all Phoenix customers benefit from our mission. Our mission is to assist people, primarily those with disabilities, to improve the quality of their lives. In the fulfillment of this important mission, I very much look forward to working with the board and our President and CEO, David Perez, our Vice President of Vocational Services, Amy Patterson, our Vice President of Manufacturing and Business Development, Wes Tyler, our Vice President of Government Services, Brian Dingo, and our Chief Financial Officer, Courtney Sweatman. Phoenix will be presenting a celebration of the 30th anniversary of Americans with Disabilities Act and the 75th anniversary of National Disability Employment Awareness Month. These two events highlight important milestones for people with disabilities. We would like to encourage each of you to familiarize yourself with promoting inclusion and accessibility for individuals with varying abilities. Our upcoming event will provide you with valuable information on the subject. Please join us via Zoom, as we explore the Americans with Disabilities Act and the impact of COVID-19 on individuals with disabilities. This will be a virtual seminar and will feature the Honorable Congressman Retired John Porter, Executive Consultant, Government Affairs with Source America, as well as Terry Farmer, President and Chief Executive Officer of Access, and Dr. Thomas Buckley, the Director of Population Health at YAI. Phoenix will also highlight our own employees and their many contributions. The event will include a local employer who will speak about the benefits of hiring individuals with disabilities. The seminar will be on Tuesday, October 20th from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Please RSVP to Amy Patterson at apatterson@phoenixhsv.org. Again, that is apatterson@phoenixhsv.org. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Have a great rest of the week.
This morning, we're also honored to have with us the Mayor of Huntsville, Mayor Tommy Battle, who is actually right around the corner from you right now, but through the power of virtual connectivity, he is here with us, and we're so honored to have him today to share greetings and also a proclamation for this month.
Thank you, Kenny. And, on behalf of the city of Huntsville, we want to thank everybody who has been part of this, the team that has put Phoenix together and has done so much. We have a proclamation from the city of Huntsville, and here's our proclamation. The proclamation from the city of Huntsville reads, whereas Phoenix was founded in 1973 to serve individuals with disabilities by providing employment-related services, and whereas Phoenix continues to serve people with disabilities in coordination with the Ability One program and the Alabama Department of Rehabilitation Services, and whereas Phoenix is an organization whose mission is to ensure that people with disabilities have access to programs aimed at improvement of the quality of life, and whereas employment is a major definer of the quality of life, and whereas it is important for all people who want to work to have the opportunity to do so, and whereas the state and federal mandates can only do so much to ensure access of people with disabilities to employment, and that individual effort and commitment will always be the basis of change. That's one of the places that Phoenix comes in. And whereas October is National Disability Employment Awareness Month with the theme of increasing awareness and opportunity. And whereas the city of Huntsville recognizes the importance of Phoenix's mission and challenges Phoenix to continue being a champion of the rights of all individuals, especially those with disabilities, into the next decade. Now, therefore, I, Tommy Battle, Mayor of the city of Huntsville, do hereby proclaim the month of October in the year of 2020 as the National Disability Employment Awareness Month, so as to encourage residents to recognize the abilities of all citizens, the need to ensure that all who are willing to work have every opportunity to do so, and to continue supporting all efforts to serve them. Dated this first day of October 2020, signed by myself, the Mayor of the city of Huntsville. And to each of you, thank you, and we want to say thank you for all the work that you've done, and we will get this into Kenny's hands, which will get over to Phoenix's hands. Thank you so much.
All right, Mayor, thank you very much. David, you want to, any closing remarks, or are we done?
Thank everybody for being here. We are in fact done. Please remember to champion the mission of people with disabilities and everything that you do. Look at your own company if there's a place or a partnership with Phoenix in employment or other, please consider that. And thank each and every one of you for being here. And this is going to be a great month. This is our second annual focus on National Disability Month, and it's just coincidental that it's the 75th anniversary of the Americans with Disability Act. So thank each and every one of you. Patrick Smith, I see you're up there. That's my son coming in from Nashville and joining us. And thank you all. It's been a pleasure.